All right.
Oh, we live right now. Okay. So now, how do I share this broadcast to?
You trying to share it to social media and stuff?
No, that's easy. I'm sorry. Just gotta go on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I just got a YouTube notification that we're live. So
That we're live on here. Let me go there. There's a lot of people live right now. Tell you that. Yeah, copy this. Okay. Now I gotta share it to what NPC gang, all the people. See, this is what I wish you could do like before. Maybe that's like on the advanced.
Yeah, typically, you just don't show anybody yet, and you just have like a splash screen while you're doing it.
So we gotta set that up.
Well, in the meantime, while you're doing your social media work,
Yeah, go ahead, man. Let's go ahead and
you want
get
me to
to
go
the
ahead and
nitty
just
gritty.
intro it while you're doing the dirty work?
Go ahead. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So what's good, everybody? Everybody who's tuned in. I got to do some sharing myself, actually. So once you're done, just let me know. But yeah, we're here to just chop it up about the 2.10 update. Shout out to the King O Caesar for having us as his illustrious guest today. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his hosting duties, sharing everything. So appreciate it. The brother lifted noise in the building. What's good?
what's up?
Caught you at a good time, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
we're on
So
break here. We
oh, a
got
little
someone in the
break. All right.
chat though. Little MJ. What's good? Greetings, bro.
What's
Oh, I
up,
gotta
buddy?
get in the chat. I gotta get in the chat, man. Oh, you almost done sharing over there?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
All right, bet. So yeah, we're just gonna do reactions to the 2.10 update. Um, just some banter, some competitive banter today. Doing it ESPN style with with our colleagues today. So yeah, just really excited about the news today, and we just wanted to kind of chop it up and see what the community thinks. I went live earlier, and there's a lot of really great feedback, a lot of really great um, reviews of the features so far. But it's a pretty huge update, and a lot of stuff is. I mean, I could only scratch the surface during the almost 2 hours I was live. Raul, what do you think? Like as far as the features you've seen, is there anything that really sticks out to you that really blew your mind with it, or
Um,
stuff you were expecting?
I think it hit a couple things that I was hoping to see. One that I didn't really share with the community. I think simple things. Like I like little simple things. Like the NPC is pretty all around. It's good standalone. It's got a lot in it. So I mean, there's a lot here. I mean, the main thing that stuck out to me is just that you have like a big reworking of the user interface for like the program edit, which I kind of like how it looks. Like you have sections that are more dedicated, like the filters and amp envelopes. Um, I think that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some getting used to that. Things have moved around quite a bit within there. Um, I like
I like how they moved in program edit. They moved a lot of stuff to the front page. Right? Did you see that with like
the
mute groups and
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the stuff that was there already wasn't necessarily for the master anyway. So all you got with the master is like semi-tune, fine-tune, and your polyphony on there. But yeah, I
mm-hmm.
think that's a good spot for everything. Um, Prior it was like I think it was with the mute groups and all that. We're on like the LFO modulation tab, right? And
I believe so. Yep.
yeah, so um, I think
Did
that's
you
probably a better place for it now.
did you notice uh did you notice this particular situation right here?
The layers. Is that what you're looking at?
The layer play, they have cycle, velocity, random, and then um right here.
I don't know. I got a small visual looking at this on my
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
right
it's
now.
it's kind of tough to see. That's my bad. So now there's a third cycle, a third cycle option.
It was
So it used to
random.
be no, it
Or
used to be one shot, or not sample cycle. My bad.
oh,
Sample
hmm.
play. I'm tripping. Sample play. It used to
Yeah,
be one shot and node on,
yeah.
and now there's node off.
What is that? I didn't even notice that.
When you
Okay.
let go of the pad, it triggers a node.
Huh?
So you can, okay, check this out. So like say, you know how when somebody's playing an open hat, right? And it's like like the
Yeah,
open, and then they hit the next one and it cuts the open off.
yeah.
So now you can put it on no off and sync that
Uh,
pad to a short hi hat, and when you let go of it, short hi hat, and it'll sound like a real,
well,
like a real open hat when it closes.
what I would do usually is just use the mute group. So I'd have that open and close one on mute group one. So is this different somehow?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
it's that's one way to do it, but it's literally you hold it down, right? So like you can hold the pad down as long as you want, really. I mean, depending on what type of sound it is, and when you let go, it plays another sound.
Oh, okay. So you would have that same
Yeah,
those two sounds on the same pad,
yeah,
kind of.
that's one way to
Ah,
do it.
okay. Because
Hmm.
it would be using the layers. Okay.
Right, right. Hmm.
Okay, that's
But you can
interesting.
also sync it. You can also set it to trigger another pad when you let it go. So I
Okay.
mean, I think that's going to open up some really interesting possibilities. I know the homie Masada already. He's already on it. He dropped the Cycle
Uh,
Kit 5 today, and he's already utilizing that feature, man. So I can't wait to do a video on that because
yeah.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's intriguing right there.
Okay, I'm back too. I shared it on a couple platforms and stuff, just trying to get people in here. I see who gonna join us tonight, but I'm glad you
I'll go
guys
ahead and
both.
share it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys both joined. It's a pleasure having you guys both. You're both like amazing people, that are respecting the space. And if I want to get this, this information or this feedback from any two people, it would be you, you know, like maybe a couple people too, like, Rocco Ghetto Styles and Matthew Stratton, we got a
Shout
couple
out to those
people,
guys.
you know. So
Absolutely. I appreciate
we
it, bro. That's a lot of love, man. And I respect both of y'all as well. That's why it's exciting, man. It's exciting times. We know
yeah.
why it's really exciting,
Yeah, it's
but
really exciting. We got some stuff in the pipeline for y'all, but we're gonna keep that on the hush hush right now.
yeah,
That might be like Christmas Day presents for y'all to open up. Maybe
it's
before Christmas
Christmas
too.
in July.
Christmas in July. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as these features on the new NPC, man, I'm like for first impressions, I'm like seriously blown away. I was watching your video earlier, site where you
Hmm.
was like going through like the scents and like they just really look good. They sound full and amazing. I think they really stepped up the quality. So, I would like to like get your feedback on what you think about that, and then we'll go to Raul next.
As far as the quality of the scents you're talking about,
Yeah.
excuse me. Yeah, I mean it was my first time really messing around with the scents. Like I had access to the beta for a while, but not with the synth sounds in there. It was kind of some other stuff they were working on, and most of the features that are in there, like the regular plugins. So I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about the hype synth before this, but it wasn't until I was kind of going through it on the stream that I realized how like lush those sounds are. You know what I mean? Like they're I don't want not so much lush, but they just sound full, like you said. And when you get to the stuff like the mellotron, like those strings, those are strings that I would use on a VST. You know what I mean? Like I've used those type of strings on I compared it to the Yamaha motif. Like I used to use the motif rack, and I would use the
Mm-hmm.
tape strings on that, as well as the Korg Triton. I would use the tape strings, and it sounds like that Mellotron one is like tape strings, and then it's kind of like the whole plugin has like a tape effect on it, and then it's got like these kind of vinyl adjustment things you can do to it. So I'm really blown away, honestly. Standalone was already becoming like a very important part of my, not my day to day, but like when I get a chance to get in the lab, I would try to do that at least half of the time, go to standalone. But the fact that now they've enhanced it with all this synth capability where you can make original loops inside and kind of resample yourself more than ever, I think that's huge. You know what I mean? And what I felt like the MPC was always lacking in standalone mode was realistic sounds, like synth sounds.
Yeah.
And I always leaned on the homie Son 100. Y'all know I big him up all the time because he brought the closest thing we had to onboard synth sounds, like good sounding ones, with his expansions. And I still love his expansions. And I think adding the portamento to the key groups really even brings even more life out of quality key groups. So just
Yeah,
so much in this thing, man.
definitely. You know what I'm saying? And I see Lyndon's son joined us in the chat, so I'm gonna you know, shout him out. You know what I'm saying? Lifted Noise active in the chat. Thank you, brother, for doing that. He on it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Linda Son, that's the homie right there too. Shout out to Linda
yeah.
Son. I love his channel, man.
So Lifted Noise, like,
Yeah,
have you had a chance to like really mess with like any of the plugins at all yet, and
a,
like
a
check
little
it out?
bit, a little bit. I won't talk too much on it, but I've gone through hype. I think that's what interests me most. That and the Mellotron. I'm a fan of that Mellotron sound. Me like as far as like lo-fi sounds, tape sounds, vinyl sounds. So that's really cool to see in there. Um, and then with the hype, I like that there are some more like realistic sounds. I'm happy that there's some choirs in there. I like the choir, like the vocal kind of sounds and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I haven't explored it too much. I went through them all, checked them out, just kind of like twisting through the presets and checking them out. And they sound like initially they sound pretty nice, um, like more appealing, more pleasing to my ears than like tube synths. Just like superficially, just from playing through them a little bit,
bro.
you know. So yeah, it's cool. It's definitely good to have. The Mellotron thing is interesting. I like that you have all the, like Sight was talking about, uh, the control of vinyl, and I see that you have like different templates. Like there's like old radio, um, record player. Like it says there's ones in there like MP3s. I got twisted through those, but I wasn't really getting at anything out of it. So I got to dive a little bit deeper and see. But I'm already like thinking about ways that maybe I could hack that. Or that's not like things that
Use
may
it as a
not be
plug-in,
super.
right?
Yeah, I'm thinking like in my
Yeah.
head. I was working over here. Like I'm at work right now, but I was like doing some work. And I was like, I wonder if there's some way. So those are the kind of things I'm gonna investigate. Is just is the hacks and stuff and ways we could use this stuff differently that may not be like immediately obvious. So man,
Yeah.
it's
So
exciting.
unorthodox, huh?
Yeah,
Unorthodox use of the plugins.
yeah, yeah.
But
I
that's
think I get most pleasure out of that kind of thing, or just in general with with any function. You know what I mean?
Well, it
yeah,
brings that old feeling back, right? Where like with the classic NPCs, you're using parameters that weren't really meant for certain stuff to get an effect out of it. And that's kind of like the allure of hardware in general, right? Like using the kind of quirks and the little weird stuff that it has to create a unique character. You know what I mean? Like the ring with the SP 1200, and
oh yeah,
I
for
think that
sure.
kind of stuff is like it brings that kind of magic back. Even though these are supposed to be a doll in a box, I like the fact that it's mixed with these limitations. So it's got these kind of proprietary plugins or whatever, and you just find ways to make them do stuff they weren't really meant to do. I think that's like I don't say most of the fun of an NPC. That's a huge part for me.
Yeah, and my take though, it's like it seems like that. It seems like this thing is really becoming more than just like standalone device though. It's like I wouldn't say it's a dime in the box yet, but it's like it's close. It's the closest thing that we got so far. And like you said, it still allows you to be like flexible to where if you're like a beginner and stuff, you can get to working on it. But if you're like somebody that's intermediate or advanced, you can really like still push it and like you still have those limitations. So it still forces you to create in a certain way. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we lost Lift the Noise. I don't know where he went.
There we okay. I'll probably
Yeah,
pop back in.
he'll pop back in. But it's just you'll it just forces you to do stuff a certain way. And I really like I'm really like fall in love with the NPC. I've always been in love with it, but we've been having all these gripes and stuff about it because they really have been like kind of dropping the ball on some stuff. But like I
Mm-hmm.
really have nothing to complain about in this update. I mean, I really wanted like a ranger mode still, but like I can't even be pissed or nothing. I'm like so happy when you play some of them sounds because I haven't really had a chance to like jump into the plugins that often. I mean that
Mm-hmm.
much yet. You know, I started shooting videos earlier this morning on a different topic, but like when I seen like some of the like presets that like you played like a lead that was like so fat, bro. Like in my speakers, I
Yeah.
was like, goodness, boy, it's
Yeah, it's
time
like a
to get.
sawtooth type of lead, right?
Yeah, it was like I'm like, bro, I gotta use that right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt. Like it just gave you that, and I love sounds like that because that's what you get with like the premium like instruments, like native
Right.
instruments. Like if you
Right.
download native instruments, you're gonna get whole full luscious sounds like that, scrape them
Right.
off the plate and just put them in your mouth good, you know what I'm saying? For real, that's what you're gonna get. And
Somebody kind of hungry, man. You need some snacks over there, oh?
I do, man. You know what I'm saying? I really haven't ate that much today. I've been in this chair, but that's something else. But it's just like it's just that right there is showing me that Akai is like taking their users seriously and they're actually starting to listen because this is the stuff that we want, and it's the
Right.
stuff that's available right now. So if it's available, you guys need to be, at the forefront too, as
Mm-hmm.
being, a major player in the game. NPCs
Right.
have been around forever. So it's like if you're not playing the game or at least being, up to date with stuff, then you're gonna fall behind. So
That's a
I
fact.
really like what they did as far as like the software, you know what I'm saying, or the VSTs, and making it so you can have it in standalone mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Raul,
I
it sounds
can't
like you're muted, bro. You might have to unmute.
see if we can get them back because yeah, I can't hear you either.
What could have happened if you took a call, it might have hijacked your microphone. But while he's getting that together, I think what you were saying about like the like you said the fatness of the sounds, like that part. I see. I haven't used Contact. Like I'm not a huge plug-in guy, so I think I use like mostly Reason. Like when I do use my computer, I use Reason for a lot of my sounds, and they do have every kind of like VST or kind of DAW that uses sound engines. They kind of have their own versions of each type of synth, right? Like subtractive synthesis and wavetable, and all these different types of synthesizer technology. So I think it's dope that you can get different types of synths on the MPC now. Like
Yeah,
in standalone, that part's pretty. It's pretty wild. I never would have imagined it, but um, well, I can't say I never would have imagined it. It's really what we all wanted, right? Like we would prefer if we can have our synths inside the system. that's ideal. And the part I just didn't realize they were going to do is put it on a separate disk, or you know what I mean? Like it's not like part of the internal memory. I guess you can put it in internal memory. I don't know, but the fact, like I put mine on an SD card, so the fact that you can put these synths on an SD card is that's exciting news. You know what I'm saying? Because that means there could be some more coming. You know what I mean? And there could be maybe like a marketplace type of thing where, um, you can buy more in the future
Yeah,
and just load the sounds up to the root sounds up to your SD card or SSD or whatever you're using, and now you're streaming from the disk, and you got all these available sounds. So I think that's one thing that was alluring to me about Machine Plus is I know how good their sound library is, and I know
yeah,
how good their synths are, and I think this really just negates it. I don't. I'm gonna be so busy with this. I don't even. It's not even worth my time to mess around with the machine at this point, because learn a whole new workflow and just for some synth sounds, which again I was interested in doing it, but now I think this is so loaded, and we haven't even started talking about like presets, right? Like this is just the presets that came with it, but what if we can create our own presets and sell our own presets, and sound designers start taking these all these synths and start creating additional libraries. And I've always appreciated that about the synth world and the VST world too, where you can have a VST for 5 years and then a certain sound designer comes in and makes a library of like 200 sounds, that gives it a whole new life. So I think that's definitely something that's possible with this as well.
yeah. Trying to get the lift it if you can hear me. If you gotta drop out, that's okay. But if you want to drop out and come back, then do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you might just have to reboot the phone, bro. I've had something like that happen.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes back because the brother is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So back to what you were saying. Um, yeah. Like if you ever downloaded anything on the software or anything like because I started with DAWs, so like pretty much the file setup is the same way. You download the plugin, and then it adds it to your system, and then you have like a separate folder like with all the content files and stuff in it like that. So maybe somewhere down the line, Native Instruments and MPC put their differences aside, and we get
Nah,
Native
this is
Instrument
war, son.
plugin.
Never.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like it's really exciting to see that. And like I said,
Hmm.
just the seriousness that they're taking with the sound design, they like really did some good stuff. But that's not all that's in here, man. I honestly think like the the interface to being able to plug your interface in the standalone mode is dope too. And you said that
Hmm.
they had that previously, right?
The standalone mode
Yeah. So
on
like
which one?
being able to hook your audio interface in standalone,
Oh
plug it in.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a sneaky feature that popped up, and I think it was 2.6.
Okay.
Um, it might have been 2.5 or 2.6. And one of the homies, Quick Strike. I think it's Quick Strike. I want to say 209. I forgot. My bad, bro. If I forgot your exact YouTube name, but Quick Strike actually put a video up about it, and he had plugged in. He has the MPC X. He plugged in. Um, what's the company that makes the Evo?
Oh, I can't think
The
of it either
Evo
right now.
interface. Yeah, it's escaping me right now. But he plugged that in. It wasn't the Audient. The Audient ID4, I think he had, and he plugged the Audient in, and he showed, he plugged it in standalone mode, and he said it was a glitch because originally he was in controller mode, and then it crashed or something, and then the program crashed, and then when when it went to standalone mode, the the MPC was using the interface, so it was almost like I don't want to say it was a glitch, but he didn't notice it until that happened. So he did a quick video about it, and then I think it's 2.7 or whatever the next version was came out like a month later, and then it disappeared. They took it out.
So
So
it came in under the bus, and then they had to sneak it out because they wasn't supposed to be
yeah,
up in here.
bro, and that's what's funny, man. It's like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I get a little bit annoyed. I get a little bit upset with Akai because I know they can do certain things. You know what I'm saying? I understand like there's, developing software and things like that. There's barriers and there's time sensitive stuff or whatever. And then you also got to worry about stability and stuff like that. So you can't always put out all the features that you might be capable of doing. So I get it, but it was there and it was working. So it's kind of annoying that they took it out because, and I see companies do this like where, they'll roll out features as the competition starts to roll them out, or when they're about to, they'll just beat them. It's because they could have done it the whole time. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's like,
they could have been like, it's just like these plugins like we just talking about. And I don't know why I'm so stuck on the plugins. I'm like a plugin guy, man,
yeah,
like coming from like the DAW world. I'm like, yo, I need my plugins to be hitting because that's what I'm used to.
right,
And I know how to do like I know how to edit and mix and stuff like that and make my like, sounds whole and stuff and do that stuff. But this day and age, especially like, one of the topics we're gonna be talking about like soon is like, just being being busy and having like a family and stuff and like
mm-hmm,
just being all over the place, and now everything is fast, like producers
right,
and artists, they want stuff so quick. So like you really have to have like sounds that are ready to go.
yeah,
You can't have like sounds that are like halfway, because if you're on the spot and you got to make a beat, man, you got to make them first impressions, and they want them beats coming out like now. I've worked with you know multiple artists like now on a huge scale, but even like on the scale that I work with them on, it's like it's like it's quick, man. And
yeah. You pull out that tube synth in the middle of a session,
yeah,
guys gonna be like,
they're gonna be like, oh yeah.
what?
I see
Not
lifting
gonna do it.
noises. See lifting noises back. I think your audio is back, my brother.
Is it back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
you're
to
good.
Okay.
cut you
Good,
down a
good.
little bit though.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know. My phone battery's dying, and then I got this distortion, so I try to um back out and see if I can fix the audio, and then it was just gone. But I got it plugged in now, but I'm gonna hang out for a little bit, but I might have to get back and do my thing over here. But you guys, like,
Right.
I dropped off when you guys were talking about the plugins and about like making your own and stuff, and that kind of reminded me of a thing I think we went over when we did a stream. I think we had this idea that it would be cool if like key groups were at least key groups for like disc streaming and stuff. So I don't know if you guys kind of touched on that, because with the synths, the new synth content, it actually goes on you kind of did touch on it, goes on your actual like SD card or USB drive or hard drive. So site, you kind of mentioned that in a way, that functionality is there. So
Right.
but it would be awesome. Like the idea was to have the expansion browser like on your within your plugins, you know what I mean, and have like a browser right
Mm-hmm.
there on the main screen.
Uh,
So that kind of indicates that it's possible already. I mean, yeah, a lot's possible, but
right.
as far as like us getting there, so yeah, they definitely been answering some requests and stuff. You were just talking about the USB audio. That's one I've been wanting. Um, I've tried two different USB audio devices. I have a USB mic though, and it's not working. I'm getting some kind of a error message. It's a Rode. I have a
Mm-hmm.
Rode NT1 USB Mini mic, and something to do with like a sample rate or something. So I don't know, something I got to
Uh,
investigate. But
So
yeah,
So
um,
we talked about that too. Like, well, I didn't talk about it. Sight talked about that. He shot you out on your on his live stream. He's like, that's something like useful, because we know that you like to use vocals when you like with your MPC. You're like working on like the total standalone like music
yeah.
production, like trying to
and I
make
know
it
how
and
much you love
optimize it.
auto tune.
Yeah,
Bro, I don't even know how to
I was
use
like, yeah,
that.
let the noise with auto tune. He's gonna kill this one.
gonna kill it.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm
got the
saying?
right they got the right vocal plugins for me. No,
Yeah,
I mean I'll mess with it, but I'm really lost with it, honestly. So
All right.
I
yeah,
have.
I put
Go
on the
ahead.
doubler and stuff and was just messing around. So it was fun, but yeah, nothing
How
usable
does
yet
it
for
does it
me.
work? Like, is there like latency, or is it seem like on time when you mess with it?
No, it seems on time, but
It's dope.
it's
I've looked at it.
yeah,
It is dope. Like even the harmonizer. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it and it's yeah, it's pretty impressive. I wouldn't say it's
is it?
like yeah, because I've used like Waves. Waves have similar plugins, like they have a doubler and a harmonizer. And I can
Yeah.
say that they're pretty comparable to those. And Waves makes pretty good plugins as well. So,
Mhm.
Let's
I
chop
like
it up
what
with the
they're able to
chat real
do.
quick if y'all don't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
sure.
I
A lot of
was just
comments.
about to say that too, because we got a lot coming in.
No
Um,
doubt. The homie Linda's son's been commenting a lot. He said, overall, it's a beautiful day for us beat makers because we have so many options, and
yeah.
sh- couldn't
Well,
be couldn't be any more true.
we should start at the top. I think we left off at like enlightened music and podcast. He says, "Hi, what's up,
Okay.
brother?" You know what I'm saying? We got a
That's Ralph
little
Moss.
that's
Ralph
Ralph
Moss. What's
Moss.
up, bro? Yeah. He
Okay,
does a
what's
little
up?
podcast. Yeah, it's cool.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to the podcast, Enlightenment Music and Podcast. So it
Oh, I
says,
seen Ralph Moss.
Yeah,
I
so
seen a video
100
he
on
did
him.
with Someone 100. Yeah, yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good, man. That was great work.
so we got little MJ23. I'm loving the key finder for samples. That's one
Yeah.
that we gonna get
And it
on in
yeah,
this stream too.
there's
That is dope.
more to that than I thought, I think. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I thought it was just like a static uh indicator like in within program edit, but I don't know who I've seen it from, but there's more to it. I think it was Av McCree. I was listening
Mm,
to his video. There's some more to it. I don't know how much because I was just listening. I wasn't looking at his video or nothing, but yeah, there might be some little something to that.
interesting.
We got Linda's son. I'm still on the machine pretty much learning the workflow, but I'm definitely be updating to the live 2 retro soon and buying standalone soul. Okay. Shout out
My
to
man.
standalone soul site. You know what
Appreciate
I'm
you,
saying?
bro.
That's what's up, man. We got
StandaloneSoul.com. Shameless plug.
we got JGW Akai not out here clear yet. Machine can put that whole complete package in the plus with effects, and it could be a game changer. Yeah, they definitely
He
got.
said game over.
Oh, it could be game. Oh, yeah, so
Oh,
he going for the gusto.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
know. I mean, you say can put the whole complete package in the plus. I think it's I don't think that is necessarily possible. I think it's a
right.
processor thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but we don't. I mean, honestly, we don't need that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need the whole complete package. I mean, I think Machine did a great job. Machine Plus and Native Instruments of from what I've seen is like balancing it out. You know what I'm saying? And I think honestly, the competition is great because this would not have come in the intensity and kind of the how big this update was would not have happened without Machine Plus. So
yeah,
I think shout out to Native Instruments. They've always pushed the Kai to do their best, and vice
yep,
versa. You know what I'm saying? And then
yep.
also some of these smaller boxes that are coming out. Like I forget some of the names, but
You're just talking
this
about the rolling.
yeah, the Roland the MV1. Yeah, yeah. That I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure that USB to audio feature really pushed the Kai to release that feature. Even though they could have done it a while ago. But
well, I'm
go
just
ahead.
gonna cut in there and say, like, he said game over. I like at this point, I still think that, like, as far as like when you go into the DAW world now, Native Instrument is killing things when you go into the DAW world. But when it comes to like standalone devices and like even like the integration that the MPC has with just the MPC software and like Ableton Live is still it's like I don't think Native Instruments is touching that yet. And like for me, it's not all the plugins are important. They really are important. Like I was just stressing that. Like I'm glad Akai like really stepped up the plugins, but it's still the functionality. We're still talking about we have like the MPC X, which is a beast when it comes to like just music production in general. And then you have like portable units like the Live and the One. You know, the Live still having like the batteries in it, and you just be able, like the Live 2, you literally need nothing but the unit, and that's it. You don't need
Yep.
no headphones, no nothing. Has a speaker, and the speaker is dope. Like I said, when I messed around with Ghetto Styles as in person, I it made me want one like automatically. I was like, because I thought the speaker was a gimmick. You know, at first I'm like, they putting a dumbass speaker on here. It's like they just, you know. But when I actually got to like mess with it, and then like the new buttons that they have in it, it really was a game changer. And like being able to have the battery, like that's huge. That's huge for me, man. Just being able to
Yeah.
take it and do what I want, you know. So
And
I don't
the other reason it can't be game over is because machine still needs work. Like the touch screen,
the
like people,
functionality, right?
the functionality of the touch screen is completely like it's just next level. And when I say that, I mean in the sense of Akai hasn't even utilized the touchscreen to the best of its ability yet. I
No.
mean, we can put, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? The pitch knobs, like a pitch bend on the screen. They can put um, maybe like like the modulation wheel on the screen. Anything you can tap on the screen can turn into a fader. So like if you go to the MIDI, the MIDI section, right? And you go to one of the MIDI parameters, like any one of the MIDI CC parameters, you just
Yep.
double tap it, and instantly it's a fader on the screen. And now you're manipulating that with your finger. Like that kind of functionality, machine would need to they would need to redesign their entire unit. Native Instruments would have to redesign the entire machine to
Yeah.
get that type of functionality. That can't be game over
I
just
don't
because of that alone.
I don't think they will. I don't think they should. I think because I'll be the odd man out here. From the sounds of it, I think you guys probably prefer the touchscreen. Yeah, it's definitely useful, but my mind frame, my perspective on that is it suits different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking about new samplers. I've got one on pre-order, the Novation Circuit. Now this thing,
Mm,
it doesn't compare as far as
Mm-hmm.
features,
Right.
simplicity. There's no screen at all. Like all the functions are on the knobs and on the buttons and stuff. And it has like a 16 by 16 pad layout. So I think they're smaller pads, right?
yeah.
And then it utilizes that in a way that it gives you information on the pads, like they'll light up, like the tempo information, and like I think pitch and stuff, like will actually light up on it. So it's interesting and it's different, and I think it's more. I just think there's different types of people that will appreciate. So, and the whole game over thing, as far as that goes, is like I don't think that'll ever happen because I think people just psychologically always want something more, and
That's true. Yeah.
it's never going to be enough. And then yeah, machine is less than the Machine Plus is less than a year old, right? So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um and
It's
the
still
newer
overpriced though, to me. Still
I
overpriced.
mean, you could say that about a lot of things. It comes down
Yeah.
to what I think it comes down to preference because people pay the same price for an OP1, which is like a 4-track sampler. It's
Oh
got a
yeah.
synth in it and stuff, and so yeah, I don't know. That's just my perspective on it. So it's just about hitting certain people's kind of preferences and stuff, and I don't know.
And
I
some
think it
people
would
just
be
want to be
a
different, right? Like they make,
yeah
everybody doesn't wear Nikes. Sometimes people want to wear like Deodoras or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
always somebody who, somebody wants to freak something a little different and just have a little bit of a twist. We're all artists, so I think being able to express the equipment we choose kind of expresses us as well, right? So,
yeah
you got guys who will buy something just because there's not a lot of people using it, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I come from that era where it's like, to be fly, you kind of had to put your own twist on it, or you had to do something completely left field that nobody was doing, but still make it look cool. So I think that's part of the culture too, and just being an artist is, um, choosing tools that aren't that kind of lead you in a different direction. And Raul, you were talking about it with the Novation thing. Um, it's not interesting to me as far as because I'm a pretty practical. There's not a lot that's interesting to me because I know how much I can do on the MPC,
yeah
but it's interesting to me in a sense of like if I had time, like if I wanted to just experience different stuff,
right
that's something I would be looking into because, like you said, it's a different beat making experience. It's like
yeah
making music more tactile and um, I don't know. When you were talking about it, remind me of Simon for some reason. You remember the like do 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 do
So,
like the
yeah, sure.
memorization stuff. But I think it's almost like speaking a different language with the machine, right? Because it's like you now you're interfacing with these different lights and stuff like that. So um, all that kind of stuff is really dope, man. And we're really in a golden age of music technology where you can do so much with any of these devices, and it's really just a blessing to have this many options, and they're more affordable than ever. Like when I started, MPC 3000 was 3,500, $4,000. I think
Yeah,
I got the
that's crazy.
yeah, like I got the 2000. It was the young boy MPC, and that was I think that was 1,700 at the time. So it's the fact that you can get into like an MPC or get into one of these, boxes that can do so much, record whole songs, whole album in it if you really want to, for less than 1,000, 600, 700. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, I'm just gonna say this too. It's like, I know there's a lot of different boxes and stuff out there that do like similar what the NPC does, but it seems like as I look at the overwhelming like facts is that a lot of people, like especially people that who are versed in both, like let's say they mess with machine and they mess with Akai too, or just other units in general. It seems like the NPC is number one, and then everything else is like a sub. Like they're a companion for like the NPC, or if they're just tired of the NPC, they like work with that. For the most part, I see a lot of people like using the NPCs as their main go-to, and that's because
Mm,
of what it's capable of doing and what it can do. Like sampling and all that stuff is super fast. Getting to like making music with the key groups and like pad perform and stuff is fast. The only thing to me like I said that would increase the value is like that arranger mode, because that'll give people who are not really that great at using song mode, because song mode can be kind of confusing, especially if you're used to a linear, like,
hmm.
editing, doing your stuff linear, then it
Right.
can be kind of confusing. Because I remember when I was trying to learn it, it was like, how do I do this, or how do I take these certain parts out and stuff like that. Like it's easier
Hmm.
to do that when you can see it linear.
Right.
But other than that, it gets you to where you want to get real quick. I can bust out like stuff on the NPC so fast. So that's just my take on it. We should probably go back to the chat because we're like probably super behind. I'm gonna go to them through them quick and see what everybody's saying. So we stopped on G JGW, game over. He also said Serato sample in studio could hit the iPad, and that can be a game over as well. Serato.
Serato, I don't know. I don't think they're really respected in the space. Because I think Serato Studio was free, and
But Serato Studio is dope. I've heard
no, no, some
somebody tell
people,
me.
yeah. I think as far as like, uh, if you don't have access to like a lot of hardware, I mean, I think it's still considered kind of entry level, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but like, obviously I'm biased. I'm in a lot of NPC circles, so
Yeah. We got Lyndon Son. I think you read this one already. Overall, it's a beautiful day for us beat makers because we have so much and so many options. Then we got JGW again. He says arranger mode is for computer heads only. Yeah. I'll tell you, man. Like I still love my NPC. Like my NPC is my go-to, but I definitely feel like there should be the best of both worlds. If you want to connect to like the newer age people, like there's a lot of people from like the old. We do have new people like joining the NPC like community and stuff like that, but for the most part, a lot of the NPC users are like people who have previously used NPCs, people who are familiar with them. You know,
hmm.
and just the hype of like what they can do now is what's bringing the newer people, like the newer stuff that they're adding that they didn't have on the old version. So if you want to
Right.
keep that trend, if you want to continue to keep that trend going, you got to make it versatile. And I feel like the arranger mode Like I'm not saying get rid of the song mode at all. I'm saying just add the arranger and have it be a choice. Like if I want to edit linear, then let me edit linear. You know, if I'm comfortable with song mode, then let me do song mode. So
Mm-hmm. It makes
that
sense.
it says Linda Son in here says, and if you're not handcuffed to a DAW, it's everything you need.
That's a fact.
Okay,
Um,
Linda Son again. Very, very dope to see three of you brothers on the stream. Thank you. Shots out. We
Appreciate
got
it, man.
best kept secretization. Goats all in one room. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I'm
Ghosts.
considered to be a goat.
That's a lot of love, man. Appreciate it,
Yeah,
bro.
that is love, man. Because I feel subpar to you guys, even though
Nah, man. We all just getting our channels rolling for the most part, man. And that's what I like about this community is like, nobody tries to act too big. Everybody's just, just doing their thing. And, um, I talk to you about that all the time. Oh, like I really love this community. The producer community in general, you know what I'm saying? As a, a bigger entity, but then, the NPC community, like a big part of it for me is we buy these things for a certain experience, you know what I'm saying? And, um, I don't want to say it's a certain type of person, but you want to be hands on. We get these things to be hands on, and it's a different type of music making experience. It's not really like anything else. So, it's really dope that we have guys in the space that are sharing information and um, just trying to make it a better community because it is the underdog, honestly, or one of the underdogs. I know like NPCs are popular right now, but 3-4 years ago, maybe like 4 years ago, it wasn't really that big. I mean, Ableton was killing it. Machine was killing it,
yeah,
and who else? Logic. Logic is definitely a top one. And even if you look at the searches and stuff now, like
yeah.
the
Logic
NPC
is like one of
community,
my go to. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, the NPC community compared, to those is, I mean, it's still not very big compared to those, but it's just dope. You know what I'm saying? That the community is growing, but it's still not like massive. I don't think it's anywhere. Where any of us should be walking around with a big head. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I don't think nobody's followers are that crazy. So, I mean, subscribers or whatever. Um, so yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. We definitely, you talking about a few thousand as opposed to some YouTubers are like million, 5 million, 250, 500,000. I mean, we're all like, I think I'm 13,000 or something. Raul's at like 6. You're talking about a few thousand, man. Things can change in like a month.
oh yeah.
Next month you could be at 10, 15, 20, with the right video. So yeah,
Hey,
I don't even
hey,
trip off
hopefully,
the YouTube stuff.
hopefully, man. But like I said, the community is great, and just
Hmm.
I feel like there's trolls in here though, but it's not as many as like um other platforms. But for the most
Yeah.
part, a lot of people like to help each other within the community too, as far as learning. So that's what's up. I'm gonna get back to the chat just so we can try to catch up because we got a lot of chats in here. And then we want to talk. Then, what do you think? Should we talk about like the key change or the key detect?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. From what I understood, I didn't know that much about it. So, other than the fact that it was on there, I never really tried to do anything else with it. So, when Raul was saying that was kind of news to me. That's a feature that I thought was really just a simple feature. You load your sample up and then you just change it. You know what I'm saying? It changes with your semitones, but if there's more to it, that's pretty cool. I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back. Raul, the homie Raul he was at work, so he might have dropped out to do some of his work duties, and he might be back if we're still on. So shouts out to that man because he's like we said, great individual. So we got Tom in the chat. He says got some big names in here. We appreciate it. He said, "What's up to Linda's son?" Linda's son said, "What's up back?" It says, then Linda's son's like, "Can you guys talk about the audio interface feature and how it works?" Yeah, we can touch on that. Uh,
Yeah, I haven't messed around with it too much. From from what I understand, you can just it's any class compliant device interface. You just plug it in, and it's good to go. I would think it's probably similar to like an iPad, where if you plug in a class compliant device, it shows up, in the if you got the right. From what I understand, it expands your outputs and your inputs, depending on what your interface is.
well, it's funny. We have somebody in the chat who already covered this. So Matthew Stratton is in the chat, and he dropped a video already on the 2.10 audio interface feature. So if you guys are confused about that and how to set it up, you guys should go check that video out.
Shout
On
out to the
Matthew.
homie Matt.
Yeah. And basically he was able to hook his guitar and his mic and stuff in there, and like he even hooked up his mixer, and he had
Mm.
12 or 14 out inputs. So
Oh yeah, he's got the
yeah,
Zoom
he's got the
L12,
Zoom
right?
L12. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta
So
watch that video.
that was crazy to see, like, so you could really do some like crazy stuff in there. They didn't expand the audio like tracks that you can have in there, so obviously you're only going to be able to use 8 audio tracks, but I
Mm,
mean you could still sample, like record stuff in and then put samples onto a pad and stuff, and still
mm,
save like those 8 audio tracks if you want to. But like I said, it was a great
okay.
video. He dropped it early this morning. So if you guys are want to check that out, go to Matthew Stratton's page and check out his video on the how to hook your audio interface to your MPC Live or One or X, whatever, and standalone. It's a good video. And we got Matthew in here. He said, "Sup, y'all." We got
Shout out
Linda.
to the homie Matt. Matt be coming through.
Yeah, Matt be on it. He's a machine. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. He's crazy. Anyway, we got we got Linda Sun and the voice plug-in. We got
There's a few voice plugins. It's like an auto tune. There's a doubler, which just kind of, I guess, kind of like a chorus type effect. And then what was the other one? A harmony, I believe.
yeah, harmonizer.
Harmonizer. Yeah, so you can kind of, I guess it's kind of like a doubler, except you can change you know, the the note, and the tuning on it. So I think that's pretty dope.
Yep. We almost done with this chat, man. This chat is we got people in here going crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I just skip through it, man. Find the good ones. You take every one. We're gonna be here all night.
I know. We got Buck 88 keys with the eyes and the thumbs up. Uh
Little MJ23 definitely to cop that soul kit from site. Appreciate that, bro.
that's
I
right.
do, man. The community's been showing a lot of love, man, and y'all are really making me feel good on my birth month. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good July, so I appreciate the support, everybody.
Matthew Stratton says that MPC Live looks too sweet with that speaker and battery. So he agrees.
Yeah, man.
Linda Son, the MPC is a complete monster, and there are so many things I love about it. But I can't lie. After a month on Machine Plus, I really love it, and I'm not missing the touchscreen. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the touchscreen is like it's great for certain things, you know what I'm saying? But I think with Machine, what they did really well is good build quality. You know what I'm saying? The knobs, right? Like I changed out the knobs on all my MPCs to metal billet knobs. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
feels more premium. So I think Akai did. I mean, Native Instruments did a great job with the Machine on kind of giving it that premium, metallic knobs. It feels like a tool, and then you got the scribble strip on there. So, um, it definitely it takes more to assign things to that scribble strip, obviously, than it would just double tapping a fader on the touchscreen. But I think that they did a good enough job with the interface that you probably won't miss much, So that makes sense. That makes sense.
It says we got Buck 88 keys. He says just add the arranger mode, right? And then it says, Matt said, I think the arranger mode probably brings more people to bring people more people in. He said he thinks the arranger mode will bring more people in. So I think so too. Like I said, we I kind of touched on that. It's trips. It's trips is in here. Said what's up.
Trips was good.
Uh, Lennon Song's really enjoying the conversation. Matthew says, yeah, 12 inputs plus the master channel. So it's a 14 on the Zoom L12, I do believe. And we're
Wow.
all caught up pretty much. Hopefully I
So what
didn't
do you
miss
do with 12
anybody.
inputs though? I mean, that's the thing is like if it only records 8 audio tracks,
Well,
um,
I think it would be kind of cool to do like a band thing. So like let's say you got like a drummer and stuff like that. You can
oh,
probably
okay.
like record a sample, a drum
Mm-hmm.
sample, like maybe like a drum break. If you
Like
got
four
like an
four or
acoustic.
five mics, yeah,
Yep.
into one pair. Okay.
So if you're able to do that, maybe you can like create like your own drum breaks that way, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
you can like create like a live sample and then chop it up, or I don't know. It's like there's so many things that you possibly could do. Vocals. Maybe you want to, maybe instead of using like the harmonizer, you have like three vocalists in there and they're like harmonizing, a sequence or some, it's just
Mm-hmm.
so much you can do. I mean, so many applications you can use, with the ability to use the audio interface,
Right.
live instruments, all that stuff.
And the
So
character of the interface, right? So like if you've got,
yeah.
if you got an interface that's known to have like warm preamps or
Hmm.
on the input chain, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So if you got a particular, maybe like a high end interface that's really known to have, I don't know, like a Neve or something, right? So now
Yeah.
you've got, you know what I'm saying? You've got this incredibly warm, high quality sonics coming into the MPC from the beginning. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as why that would be a huge benefit.
Yeah, and you can still like run your stuff. So like, um it gives you a chance to like use, so like let's say you got like a small unit, like a small preamp. You can, if you got a good mic and a small preamp that you can run through before it goes into the audio interface too.
Right.
Like, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, you can use it that way. I mean, that wouldn't be ideal for like mobile, but it would be like let's say if you had a different station set up in your studio where you just, do like
Mm-hmm.
production work, instead of having to drag your MPC to your main studio and
Right.
like have it just stationary in there, you know.
And Trip says, seems to me the main contention is outs for sending to a mixer or something, etc. And I think that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody doesn't have an X. Um, 6 outs on the live two is cool, but if you're like me and it's like hi hat on one, snare on two, kick on three, you could run out of six really quick just on drums.
Yeah.
Saying, and then you talk about your loop as a stereo pair. So usually I would put drums like 1 through 4, and then my main loop on 5 and 6, and then I would have to retake it if I didn't bounce it out. So you're absolutely right, Trips. I think
Well,
being
explain that more
being
to
able,
me. I'm sorry to cut you off, but explain that more to me because I'm not completely sure what you're talking about right now.
well, we're talking about outputs, right? So like if you
Yep.
have the one or you have the live two, and you want to run 1/4 inches out into your mixing board,
Okay.
or into your interface. But usually a mixing board, a summing mixer or something like that. If you want to run outputs, run your whole beat, spread out um, into like a summing mixer or something like that, like a SSL or Neve or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. So like have your drums separate and like have your main like melody and all that stuff like in like one and two, and then have your drums in like three and four or something like that. What
Exactly.
you're talking about,
Yep.
and then like maybe run your drums through like a SSL or a great compressor or something like that is what you're talking about, right?
Right, or like a large mixing board, like the older mixing boards. It was, people don't really use them as much these days, but you can get some pretty cool like vintage mixing boards, like I did with the with the Tascam 488, or not, the 688, which is, I think it's like a 12 track or 16 track mixer. I haven't looked at it in a couple days, but running the outs into some of these vintage mixers and getting that sound we had like in the 90s and that 80s and things like that. So I think that's going to be huge. Like having that output to that the option to run outs into a larger mixing board or a summing mixer, and just getting more of a vintage quality to stuff. You know what I'm saying? Is going to be easier. So so yeah, man. I think the outputs that makes sense. The outputs are going to be
Yeah.
huge.
I
He
also
said
think
back in the
about like
days with
oh yeah, go ahead.
he said back in the days with 8 outs on the 2000, and that's what I had too. I had eight outputs on the 2000, and then you ran the
Okay.
stereo as really technically 10. So having that same capability now is dope, and not needing to keep, so you don't have to buy, because that was the biggest thing with these NPCs as far as you couldn't expand them, right? Like that's a
Yeah.
big complaint with Apple computers. It's like, oh, you can't change the parts. Well, it was the same with these NPCs. Like you can't add additional outputs. Whatever outputs you buy is what you're stuck with. So this
Okay.
gets rid of that limitation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and like that's massive. Like the way you guys are like explaining it is crazy. I wasn't a part of all that, with all the analog stuff. So I'm still learning. I kind of really want to get into that because it really is like I think it's fun like being able to like figure that stuff. Like even though I'm not like I don't consider my workflow like completely standalone. Like my setup is like a hybrid setup. So I have a lot of hardware like things that incorporate into my software build. So,
Right.
learning about ins and outs and like different like sends and like, what you can do with that is always been fascinating to me. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the signal chain thing, and like yeah, I mean that's how I came up. I came up using, having to learn signal chains and MIDI cables and snake cables, patch bays, you know, stuff like that. And then we had like the little ADAT outs and stuff like that. You can run 8 into a ADAT machine. So it's cool that some of that stuff is coming back. People are taking the time with music again, where
That's what's up.
it's yeah, it's not necessarily just how many beats can I complete today. It's like, nah, how can I get this beat to sound the way I want it to sound? You know what I'm saying? And people are taking
Yeah.
the time to bust stuff out to analog gear, and it makes a difference sonically. It really does.
Yeah. It does sound good like what you did, like, shameless plug again. What you were able to do with standalone soul, man. Them loops sound pristine, man. So whatever you did to
Appreciate it, man.
that, whatever secret sauce you put on there, you know what I'm saying? You did a great job. I know you got some outboard gear and stuff that you've been running it through and whatnot. But it sounds great, man. So
Appreciate it, man.
yeah, I need to get me some outboard stuff like that, Maybe get me
Yeah,
some.
man. It'll change your whole view, because once you start running stuff through like analog signal chains and kind of hearing the characters some of this vintage analog gear has, it's hard to go back. It's not you like the cleanness of modern audio devices, and like the real clean kind of I don't want to say crisp, but it's like even the bottom end, right? Like the bottom end is real full.
Yeah.
But as far as the mids, like the saturation you get in the mids and kind of the character that some of these analog devices like add to the signal, you can't really replicate it in plugins. You can try, but it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure, man. Now back to the audio interface, like I thought about like, because like I'm sitting here looking at the Mackie Big Knob and that's also like an interface, right? It has
Hmm.
multiple like headphone inputs. So I mean like if you are working with different artists standalone and stuff like that, that would be some, good to use too. Cause like say I'm a singer and I am doing like a singing part for you, I would probably want to monitor myself too, but only having
Right.
one headphone jack, you wouldn't be able to do
Uh,
that,
yeah.
So even if you have an even if you have an audio interface, if you got the headphone jack that's on the MPC, then you have the headphone jack that's coming out of the interface,
Mm,
so
yeah,
you still at least have two headphone monitoring,
right.
you know, um, things to use. So I could see that being useful as well.
It's going to be cool to see what the community does with this stuff, right? Like, excited about that where these features drop and I try to get out the gate and do some cool stuff with it, but man, I mean, there's some guys in this community that really push the envelope when it comes to like, taking this stuff and flipping it their own way. So I'm excited to see what the community does with this stuff. Because there's people with like weird gear out there. I don't call it weird, but just different stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of stuff they plug into these. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
man, it's
Like
it's going to be dope.
it's gonna be crazy, bro. And like I said, I still like, let's get into that. Let's get into the competition. Who do you think is even close to the NPCs when it comes to that? Of course, we know Native Instruments. I think that for what I know and what I've seen on the market, I feel like the Machine Plus is probably the closest one to like the NPC as far as like what it can do.
Uh, I mean, a lot of guys are messing with like the analog rhythm. I don't know what they call it. Like I forgot the company too, man. I'm bad with this stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I see like the homie Marlo Diggs does stuff on the analog rhythm every once in a while, and let me look it up real quick while I'm talking about it because I'm acting like we don't have Google here.
Yeah, we got Google everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Electron. Yeah, that's the
Electron.
company that makes. Yeah, they make a whole bunch of different boxes. So like, there's the analog rhythm. There's let me see what other devices they have. But I see people in the community messing with this Electron, a lot of this Electron stuff, and I think it's cool, and I think it's a change of pace. And again, I think it's one of those things where people want to kind of just have a different feel when they're making music, and they don't really want to do the same A or B thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like Democrat, Republican, Akai, or Native Instruments. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Electron is like Bernie Sanders 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Or like
With
you know what I'm
the
saying? Jill Stein, Independent Party type
with
thing.
with the blanket and the gloves on and stuff and
Right. Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, it is like it seems like you're either like in the middle. It does kind of feel like politics because like either you're in the middle or you're like one sided kind of. So it's like you're like,
Right.
yeah,
And if you
machines
get something
I
else, people are like, "What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Like, why would you
yeah.
like the analog rhythm is like $1,700. It's like, really, bro? You're gonna pay
Oh
seventeen
my
hundred?
goodness.
The Electron Octatrack, 1499. Like these are as expensive as the top of the line MPC. So
Yeah.
um, it's kind of interesting, but people will pay a little to use different stuff. Polyend tracker.
But can they
I
do what
mean,
the NPC does though? That's the thing. Is because like it took. I don't know about everybody else, but I am not made of money. I'm broke. So it took me a long time to get to my Renaissance. That's what I started with the NPCs. My first NPC was the Renaissance. Took me forever to get it, and then it took me forever to get my live. By the time I got my live, like 1 year later, the live two was coming out, and I was like, damn.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? But I love my live because it's the gold version. I got to throw that out there. It's my baby. But anyway, you know what I'm
Well, some
saying?
guys just go through gear like some guys are gear junkies. You know what I'm saying?
Ghetto
And
Styles is one of those people, man. Ghetto Styles has like his stuff is
I used
crazy.
to be that way. I tell people I used to have like a lot of gear, man. I had like a $40,000-$50,000 studio, in 2010.
I can
Um,
see it.
but yeah, but for like various reasons, I ended up liquidating everything, and I went down to nothing. I went down to a laptop with Reason on it. Stopped making beats for 4 or 5 years, and when I came back on just the Studio Silver and my laptop.
Okay.
So when I came back, I appreciated how much power was in this little flat thing. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
like I could carry my laptop, which was this thick, and the Mpc Studio Silver, is like
Yeah.
less than an inch all within a neoprene laptop sleeve.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
what's up.
making, you know what I'm saying? It was super portable. I could take it anywhere. So I got hooked on that minimalism. And even though I've added stuff to my setup here, I always find myself going to the garage to just get on the live too, because that feeling of just having one thing, to me, has become addictive. And I know a lot of guys are like that, but some guys are still building out studios and they love buying gear. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain gear has a different character, it has different personality, kind of, and
Yeah.
it gives you a different feel. Like, like some say faders, right? Like, certain mixers have plastic fader caps,
Uh-huh.
and certain ones have metal fader caps, and that's a different feel. You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you're throwing those faders and it's metal, it just feels different. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I can definitely understand that because I have like an avid mix and I just love like like once I was able to mix, and I know there's a lot of different ones out there, so I could probably get like a couple different ones and like use them to mix with. But the avid mix, the automated faders on it is
does it
like
have
is dope.
uh they're motorized and are they metal?
They're not metal, they're like a plastic, but like the
Mhm.
plastic like feels like kind of metalish. I can't
Okay.
explain it. It's not like it doesn't feel cheap at all.
It's like coated or something, so it's got some
Yeah.
kind of coating on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
they
that
feel
makes a
great,
difference, man.
you
That
know.
tactile feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes a difference on the equipment that you use. And it makes a difference in the kind of the mood you're in while you're creating.
Yeah,
Um
I'm touching these faders right now. They feel silky.
yo,
Still after
pause.
being this old, yeah. Pause on that. Yeah.
Oh man. But no, I mean, it's not weird though. You know what I'm saying? Artists do it all the time. Like, artists that paint, some of them use, wood brushes, some of them use plastic brushes, some of them I only use ebony, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or
They only use like
ivory, you know what I mean?
ivory
Ivory
brushes,
brushes, yeah, like
pearl handled paint brushes.
pearl handles, right? Exactly. So that's just a tool thing, man. I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just really like feel like, Akai, because obviously they probably could have like made it more expensive than they are. I still haven't been able to secure an MPC X, and that's partially because of the price. But if I had a choice to buy like the MPC X or like one of those other ones you were talking about, I would
Hmm.
definitely go with the X just because I know what it's capable of doing. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, as a consumer and like the consumer, I think I said that right, right? As the person, as the people selling it and the people who are buying it,
Hmm.
you got to have a balance between functionality and price, and I feel like Akai really did a good job with that. you know
Yeah. I
'Cause-
agree. I'm starting to really have some issues with build quality though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Like, 1 year into my live too, I had a little bit of issues with build quality when it first came out. Like, I showed on my video, you kind of press in the right side, and it was like, it shouldn't move like that.
yeah.
And now I'm having this issue with the inner four pads are solid. No, I'm sorry. The outer 12 pads are, my bad. The outer 12 pads are solid. The inner four pads make this loud cracking noise when I hit them.
Okay,
So
let me
almost
see
like
that
there's like
because
a little.
I got my NPC right here. Like I honestly like maybe I'm just not paying attention. Like
No, I know the build quality was legit bad on my unit. Like,
yeah.
it's legit bad, and I'm starting to notice like other people in the community are having the same issues.
Yeah, I
Um,
make beats has some issues. I shout out to that brother too, man. He had some real issues with his I don't even think he's gonna keep his X anymore. I
yeah,
think he's gonna
and
try to sell it.
that's
Cause
unfortunate, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, build quality issues. Um, that that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? I understand when people are cranking out stuff at a high rate, but I can't sit here and say NPCs feel premium. I don't think they do. Like, not the current ones. Um, they feel like they're great. Their functionality is great, but there is something to be desired on the actual tactile feel of it, and like I said, the build quality. So, um,
well,
they're very plasticky
well, you know
compared to
what?
like machine and things like that.
I haven't like, and maybe it's just my unit or my version of the unit, but I haven't heard anybody complaining about the NPC Live ones.
I haven't either. I haven't
The
heard.
NPC, I
I
feel
haven't
like, because like I'm telling you, I like, knock on wood. I got my desk here. I'm knocking on wood because I don't want no shit to happen. But at the same time, like I feel like the build quality on my live one is it's been holding up superbly. Even Ghetto
That's
Style
impressive.
said it when he was messing with it. He's like, man, it still looks it's brand new, and
Hmm.
it's still functioning
They
straight.
hold up. Yeah, they definitely hold up. The materials they use, they hold up as far as like scratches. Like I don't really see scratches and stuff like that. And I have the black touch and the black live too. And it's kind of got that rubbery type coating on it. The gold, I don't know what that texture is like, but
Yeah,
this is kind of like a rubbery type coating, and it holds up. I mean, it attracts dust, but when you clean it off, it looks brand new. So it's
yeah.
got certain advantages.
Well, they kept the live too the same price. I mean, the same price. So maybe they had to cut a couple corners for the live too because they added so much to it. I mean, they did add extra batteries. I mean, not extra batteries, but they added extra buttons and they added a speaker and stuff like that. But was still able to keep it pretty much the same price. So maybe they did like cut a couple corners with the build quality for those, because the only people I've been seeing having problems with is like, some people have been having problems with their X, like, I make beats, but then um, you know, people with the NPC Live two's been saying like the build quality is a little off.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
Stan Douglas says I jump back and forth between my NPC and machine almost a week at a time. I love the different workflows. Okay. And then It's Trip says, I feel you about the size of the NPC Live 2 for sure, though.
yeah. Sides are kind of flimsy. No, I'm not too happy about those. But I was
Matt,
more
go ahead.
annoyed they didn't have the illuminated words on the retro. Yeah, I thought that was weird. Why the numbers, like the letters on the pad, not the pads, but the buttons weren't illuminated on the live too. Retro. I thought that was kind of weird.
Oh, they didn't illuminate them? They're not
Nah, the
illuminated?
retro is not illuminated. It's just paint.
Is that fancy paint job, man. You pay
Fancy
for what
paint job.
yeah, you got a fancy paint job on there, man. I'm telling you.
I don't like
Matthew
that
Matthew Stratton says my dead friends has an issue with the MIDI notes would randomly show up.
on the live Mark One. Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, there's definitely I've seen issues with them. Some people have sent them back, but I think the live too. I've seen the most issues as far as like in NPC gang and in the Facebook group. I've seen the most like physical people touching stuff. Like, what is this? And I think they might have rushed to put them out. You know what I'm saying? It was like right before the pandemic when I got mine, and I know they were just in a rush to crank them out because they were selling out so quickly. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's to be expected with mass production. You're gonna have some duds, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely didn't see it as much on the live one.
It's Trip says I love that's what I love about the retro no rubbery coating.
Mm,
It said it was more annoyed how they didn't have an illuminated words on the retro. I think I
just
read that
color
right.
strips. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was more annoyed that they didn't have the illuminated words. Um, that's what's crazy though. Like they had to have new buttons produced for the retro. Why lose the wording that lit up? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting decision. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but Akai, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Matt's still rocking with the live MK1. And then it says It's Trip says they must have felt it looked more, wait for it, retro.
Yeah,
We all caught up on the
yeah,
chat, man. I just wanted to catch up on the chat a little bit.
yeah, man.
We
But
already been in here an hour and 19 minutes. It don't even feel like it really.
hour and 19 minutes. It felt like more than maybe it's because I streamed already today, and it's just with this
Yeah, you
gaming
got
PC, it gets hot in this room.
you got stream lag, man.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
get nothing done today, bro. All I did was stream today.
Hey, that's something though. You know what I'm saying? And your live stream
Yeah,
was
yeah.
dope. Like I said, you had me like I was over here like editing my video because I do got a video that's gonna be dropping tomorrow. I was gonna
Wow.
drop it tonight, but it's probably gonna be a tomorrow thing. Now,
But it's necessary though. You're talking about the one showing people how to put the content in there.
yeah, because the 2.10 software update is different than the other updates. Because when you add the content on there or the new sense, you have to do it a certain way. You can't just like download or update your NPC with 2.10 and then like have all the the plugins already in there like you were able to do with I think it was like 2.8 or something when they put like tube scent and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Even with drum scent, all you had to do was just update the what I'm saying, the firmware, and it was already in there. This way you have to this update, you have to do it a little bit different, and that's what my video is going to show. It's going to show you how to do that. you know I can pretty much tell you right now, you can watch the video or not, but all you gotta, when you download that package, you gotta put like the synth folder into your hard drive or whatever you're gonna put it on, like your USB drive, SD card, or your internal drive on your MPC, in order for it to show up. If you try to put the full content folder in there, they will not show up. It has to be the synth folder. So you unzip that folder, and then in that folder it'll have a like the applications to add it to your Mac or your Windows. And when you do that, um, like I got confused, but
Save it for the video, bro.
all
You know what I
right,
mean? You don't want to get them too much. Save it for the video. But long
all
story
right,
short, y'all, and I put it out sooner than later, honestly, because I've had 5 people ask me already, and
yeah,
you're the one that showed me how to do it. So
yeah.
um,
I'm gonna get it done, and shout out to the homie Ghetto Styles. He was the one that that put me up on it too. So
yeah, shout out to
he's
Ghetto
he's
Styles,
he's
man. He always
also
showing
he's
love.
also a beta tester. So,
Hmm.
but he's
So
been at
yeah,
work all day.
it's a little different. Like you have to download the content as well as the update, and then also the synth content, and then you have to copy it into the right place. So it's a little more involved, but definitely do that video, because
Yeah.
I think this is definitely something that people need to figure out.
Oh, it's coming out. Best believe that it's gonna drop. I've been working. I fell asleep in my chair working on that that video. It's gotta come out.
That's what's
So
good.
it's been an all day thing because just like when you get some new stuff, like I was editing my videos and then I got to playing with the portamento. I seen
Hmm.
the portamento and I was like, oh shoot, you can do this and that. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Like even the portamento, bro, is just such a huge thing. Like being able to glide. That's
Hmm.
really, I like to make a lot of trap beats. You know what I'm saying? And I want to like learn drill and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
that's huge in those two genres. And like for the longest time, it's like I would have to do like my bass lines um in like Logic or like FL Studio to get that effect. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Even
And
the
I was
baseline synth didn't have glide, which I thought was very weird. Like it's in
yeah,
tube synth. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that. I really didn't get that. It seemed like a very silly thing to overlook. You know what I'm saying? And there's a couple things with the previous plugins, but looking at these new plugins, I think they paid a lot more attention to detail. I think they got a lot of practice on the first ones, and they really hit it out the park with these. And I only grazed through them. I haven't really been through them top to bottom, but man, I mean, they just seem so much more full featured. And even if it's just the look, right? Like,
yeah, the look is killer. Like it really looks premium, like
and
premium
the
plugin.
type of knobs, each one has different sections in program edit, which are very like unique to that. So even if the effects in the synths are just kind of remixing the onboard effects that are already there, it doesn't matter. It's still cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the interface is cool. The
Yeah.
way it maps to the Q links is cool, and each one's got its own look and its own feel. And I just think on that level they really hit it out the park, man. So
Yeah, they really did, man. And then like, because I'm developing like a expansion pack right now. So just the fact that they added like the stuff like Portamento, like in the key
Mm-hmm.
groups and stuff now, it's giving me a lot of more. It's giving a lot of more. It's giving me more. What I'm saying, ways to like, you know separate it from the rest, and like to you know like do different stuff. So
Absolutely.
you know
The
we
homie
got.
Fox Styles stepped in.
Yeah, Fox Style is in here. Go hard. Go hard said, much love to both of y'all. Awesome video. That have been a tremendous help to me. 1,000. Thank you. We appreciate
Appreciate
it,
that,
man.
man.
We
Glad we can
appreciate it.
help.
Like I said, Fox Styles in the building, man. I still need my beat, Fox Styles.
He said, I made a neo soul beat tonight using the plugins. I'll post it tomorrow at work right now. Yeah, that man be working.
That man do be working, man. I told him, I said, man, I need a beat, Fox Styles. Like, what's up, man? I'm trying
Fox
to
Style
I'm
got
trying
some
to
bangers.
slide. I'm trying to slide some in your cash app real quick. You know what I'm saying?
We find out you
uh,
got some bars waiting, bro.
Yeah, I want to work on a project. That's not on this, but it's eventually gonna come. You know, I want to put out my own solo project. When I was younger, I used to do music like that, but never released a solo project on my own. So before it's said, and I don't want to be like 45 doing it, but you know,
Yeah,
hopefully,
45, man. 45, you need the Vegas residency by then. You
yeah,
feel me?
yeah, I
Like,
know, right? Hopefully sooner than later. But
right.
let me see. It's Trip says, I'm actually kind of surprised Akai didn't drop a video today instructing users on how to place the content correctly. Yeah, it would have been help, man. Because I think a lot of people are gonna be confused because I got confused. When
I
I was
got confused. I was
yeah,
undebated. I
every
got
yeah, everybody has been kind of confused about it. I mean, if you like troubleshooting and stuff, I think eventually you'll figure it out. But like, that should have been something that was like kind of straightforward. I don't even know. Let me go into this folder real quick and see if they have any instructions in here, because they might have like provided instructions. People don't be reading no instructions when they throw all the books and stuff to the side when they open new stuff
yeah,
or get
read
stuff.
the manual. But now
It
on the
does have a
download
read me.
page, does it has a read
It
me?
has a read me
It
PDF.
probably walks you through the whole thing, yo.
It does, bro.
Oh man.
Installation for standalone devices. To install the synth content on standalone Force MPC devices, copy the synth directory into the top level folder of the SD card or USB drive. You do not need to copy any of the other files. Then insert the drive into your device.
So it gives you step-by-step instructions and
There you
nobody read
go.
it.
Read the
Hey
instructions,
man,
man.
RTFM.
For real, man. Like
RTFM.
it's right
And
there.
here
It's like
I
the
be
first
going
page.
hard against RTFM and NPC gang, and now I look like a jerk.
One page. That's it.
Read the read me.
Yeah. If you're downloading this, read the read me if you don't watch my video tomorrow. My video will show you and explain it, but just read the read me if you're confused. That's pretty simple.
But the README is in the synth content download.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see the synth content download for some reason. Maybe I don't know. I guess you tune out once you see like Windows, Mac.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like once I saw those, I was like, oh, I just download that and I'm good. And it was
Yep.
the fourth one, and yeah, I never would have noticed that if somebody didn't say something.
Yeah, I thought the synth folder was like I thought that was just like the actual folder that had like all the presets. I didn't know it was the folder that had like everything. It
Right.
has like the presets, the visual stuff in there, like all that stuff is in there. You can go in there and
Mm-hmm.
open it up, and you can see all the stuff that's in the packages, the different packages.
That's
So
a fact, bro. But
yeah.
yo, I'm about to tune out, bro. I've been streaming all day.
Hey,
I don't want to.
we
I don't want
gotta
to cut you short. I don't know if you got something else to talk about, but
no, we touched on, we've touched on a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure there's more. I don't even know how much more, to be honest. Like the stuff that we touched was like pretty much the most excited stuff for me so far. So I'm anxious to get into it, you know. Pause.
mm. Trips
Really get
said
in
you
there.
can go into the folders and see Trips is a beast because he shows me he does this on his Mac. you can go into the folders and find the GUI images and edit them. So that means you can find the images that are on the plugins in the program edit, download them into Photoshop, manipulate them, put whatever you want on it, and then save it back with the same name, and it'll look different. So you can have a totally custom, you know what I'm saying, like look on your plugins. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that'd
Hey,
be real fire.
who's my man that's from Akai? He be doing the videos.
Andy Mack.
Andy Mack, man. I want to see somebody make an Andy Mack like meme or something, like Andy Mack holding flowers or some shit, you know.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That'd be dope, man. Furious Styles.
Furious Styles said, "Yeah, you banned you maybe you said ban me from because I said people should read the manual. Yeah, bro, NPC gang. Listen, man, the world's harsh enough. The world's harsh enough without people telling you to read the manual all day. And here's the thing, man. Like this has been an ongoing debate in NPC gang, and I'm not going to take over this stream with the whole NPC gang stuff, but." There's this thing where it's like people are like, oh, why can't I tell people to read the manual? Because it's not helpful. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask somebody a question and you're like, it's in the dictionary, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's silly. Like, if you really want to help somebody, if you want to tell somebody to read the manual, and this is what I said in NPC gang, if you want to tell somebody to read the manual in there, show them the page. Show them the page. Sense. Like, because that's not lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're really trying to help them. If not, just keep scrolling. But a lot of people read the manual as a way to empower themselves, like as a way to make themselves feel like it's like some kind of weird ego booster. Like, I don't know how to do this. Can you guys tell me how to do this? Read the manual. Like, what? I don't get it, man. It's a very I don't know where people are from, but you know, I'm from the Northeast, and like when somebody's talking something we ain't interested in, we just keep walking, bro. We just keep walking down the block. We're not paying them attention. Somebody try to hand you some flyers, you don't pay. Northeast just isn't like that, man. I don't understand why you would take extra time to tell somebody to do what they should be doing. Like, if you're not going to help, just keep it moving.
Maybe I'm weird. That makes sense. You know, people do need to take time and just like, you know, it's like if I'm playing basketball, you know, if I want to be like MJ or whatever, and somebody in my shot sucks, you know, they can tell me to, you know, they could know how to shoot a proper jump shot, right? They could show me how to do it, but instead they just say, "Gotta get more practice in, homie," or something like just something weird like that. You know, when you can actually like just take the time and just show me. Like, I was probably
Furious Styles. I don't remember banning anyone today. I've been super busy, but send me a message on Facebook, man. We'll get you in there, bro. I don't remember banning anyone personally, but you know, we got admins and I mean moderators, and you know, they be on it, bro. They be on it. So I appreciate you, you know what I mean, being cool about it too. So yeah, just shoot me a DM on Facebook, and I'll get you hooked up, man. But yeah, that's, you know, that's all. You know, we're not trying to be we like Trip said, going out of your way to be unhelpful is weirdo style. Don't go out of your way to be unhelpful. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to be unhelpful or you don't want to help, just don't. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
it's like the analogy I made was like somebody on the side of the road doesn't know how to fix their tire. Instead of getting out and showing them how to fix a tire, you get out and say, "Check your manual." Like, get out of here, bro. Just keep driving. Beat it.
That make you look at somebody weird too. Like, I know this motherfucker ain't just get out and tell me to check my manual. What the? Do you got a tire iron? No, I'm just playing. No, with that, yeah, we can end this and cut it short. But before we do, we're gonna give some shout outs and stuff. Check out the NPC gang group. If you're here and you're not an NPC gang group, you should be checking it out. Matthew Stratton also has an NPC gang or NPC group that's standalone live that you guys should check out.
What's it called? It's NPC.
It's Live NPC standalone. Live Standalone. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. That's another NPC group that's good. Shout out to Sight Standalone Soul. If you guys haven't copped that yet, go cop that. It's dope. Get the deluxe version because it's gonna be worth every penny to me. Like I said, the everything in the first one is super dope. So I can imagine what the next six is gonna be, because if you're a deluxe owner, you get a uh like an exclusive seventh version, so that nobody
On
else
New
will be able
Year's,
to
I'm
get.
dropping the 7th on New Year's, but I'm dropping a new one every 4 to 6 weeks for the rest of the year. If you get the deluxe, you get, the new ones each month, and the 7th exclusive one is going to be on New Year's when the ball drops. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna be drinking when the ball drops, probably, hopefully. We don't know what we'll be doing. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Yeah.
The world's crazy right now, but yeah, I appreciate everybody who's been supporting Standalone Soul, man. It's a passion project of mine. It's something that I really spent a lot of time on, and I'm still spending a lot of time on. And I'm not able to post as many videos right now because of my living situation. I just got this mic so I can stream more. Like this keeps the screaming kids from showing up. So I haven't got any complaints about the screen. my
Yeah.
my my 2-year-old and my 5-month old. So I appreciate everybody for being patient with me on the channel. The channel has been a little slow this year because all the living situation stuff. But I never stopped putting in work, man. And the Standalone Soul has been just beautiful, the response, man. So I appreciate the community for all the support.
And it's super dope. So go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I
Thank you.
haven't. I personally had, and I paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't about to let site give it to me for
Yeah.
free. I
OCs
paid
be
I
showing
paid
love,
my,
man.
you know what I'm saying? Um Ghetto Styles also has beat the block up expansion out.
I got to check that out too.
Beat the block up .com, I believe. I hope I'm saying it right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to give everybody their plug. I Make Beats has the gauntlet out. You know, he teamed up with a couple YouTubers, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people. Oh, and I gotta shout out because I always forget him, man. But he's such a, and you always mention him, and I'm like, bro, why do I always forget? So 100, man. So 100 is like expansion packs are the truth, straight up and down. Like I own two of them. I no, I own three of them now because I bought the drum pack too, the drum one that he has. So
Oh, I got to check that one out too.
yeah,
That
so
might be
like
the only one I don't have.
his expansion packs are the truth, hands down. You know, there's a lot of people out here that are doing stuff. You know, I'm pretty sure some people in the comments and stuff are doing stuff.
Absolutely. The
So
homie Trip sent me some packs, and I was just trying to get through this initial rush with Standalone Soul, but I'm definitely going to load up and make a video with some of Trip stuff. He's a phenomenal sound designer as well, and
yeah,
just a good overall dude, man. So I appreciate you, Trips, for coming into the stream, and he helps a lot with NPC Gang with the Discord. Just
yep.
a good solid dude, man. And like I said, that man is in the NPC credits. If you roll the credits, dead ass, like you go to a bout and you let those credits roll, that man shows up because he been putting in work on this platform for a long time, man. Like the homie Masada and Hellfire Beats, just so many guys that what I'm saying, put in that initial work on the software that got us to the point that we at now. So shout out
Yeah.
to everybody, what I'm saying, all those guys, man. Just really,
Do you
really,
know?
really.
Do you know
Hmm?
his website?
Trips, I believe it's yo, don't fight me, bro. It's necessarynoises.com. I'm gonna double check it real quick.
And
Let's see.
why you double checking that? Like my message to everybody is that there's a lot of people doing stuff in the community. So support. We don't want Akai to get all the money. You know, there's people in the community that's really putting out some great stuff. So if you guys are in the community and stuff like that, support, because I
I put it in
definitely
the
support.
chat. It's necessarynoises.com. And that's a big thing, man. Like I appreciate everybody supporting me with Standalone Soul. And I try to do that with other creators in the space. It's not about Kai not getting all the money because they partner with guys like Ski, Ski Beats, a legend.
Yeah.
Um, they partner with guys in the community, but once you get your buzz up, so I think it's important for us, like with Marco Polo and some of these guys, like to show love to our creators, what I'm saying, and support them and get them to that point where they can start doing the Akai collabs, what I'm saying, and doing the joint ventures with Akai and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's a really healthy ecosystem right now in the Akai and in the NPC space. And I like that there's more sound designers coming to the forefront and more guys really making dope content for us to work off of, man. So
Yeah.
it's a
And,
beautiful thing, bro.
and if there's one thing I know about producers, we want it all.
You can never have enough.
You can't have enough. You can never have enough sounds, man. So, but with that said, man, we appreciate you guys coming in here. I think at one point we had like 20, like over 20 people in here, which is good for my channel because I'm still smaller. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching my channel, you're a subscriber and you're not subscribed to either Sight's channel or Lifted Noises channel, then you guys should go subscribe and hit that bell notification button. But we're gonna end it right here. You guys stay safe and be blessed. We out of here, man. Me and Sight. Thank you for being on the live stream, my brother.
Thanks for having me, bro. Let's make it a regular thing.
Yeah, we on, huh? Yeah, you seen that face.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out.